Hi, welcome back to Sound Motors, our channel, and yeah, today we've got a 1.2 petrol Polo, normal 3-cylinder with a timing chain. It come with I can't even see the engine code on this one, but yeah. But anyway, yeah, it come with the engine management light on. The engine runs a bit funny, and the traction light is on also. Well, first things first, let's start it up to see if there's actually that's exactly what happens. Yeah, engine management light is on. Traction light is on. Done 56,000 miles. So it's not really high mileage. I can smell this runs really rich. Yeah. Engine's shaking a bit, but maybe it's a bit cold. But anyway, I already plugged the computer in. I'll do the diagnostic on it, and we'll go from there. Let's do the full report. Because it's more than one system is affected. Engine management and ABS obviously affected. So I'll do both, all the read. Hasn't picked up anything yet. Oh yeah, there you go. Engine management, 2 fault codes. Feel like putting a crank on it, like, you know, wind it up, make it quicker. Oh, there you go. Brakes, 1 fault code. We don't know what codes are yet. Let it read properly. All of it. We're starting getting quicker. Camshaft position sensor. Load detective. Engine control module ECM for the brakes. Combination comfort data bus. No signal. Well, to me, that sounds more likely to be a timing issue, because these camshaft sensors don't tend to go wrong that much. And if the fault would be in the camshaft position sensor, engine wouldn't start at all, basically. So I could pretty much rule out camshaft position sensor straight away because of that. The rest of the codes sound secondary to me. The timing could have been stretched, and the timing could be affected because of that. It might be tiny bit out, and it will bring that fault code. The P0341 position sensor 6. Yes. Not even contemplated replacing camshaft, but other garage apparently has looked at it, and they put new camshaft position sensor on, and it not fixed the problem. So to me, that sounds like a timing issue. Well, let's strip it and have a look at the timing and see if it's actually out or not. But these engines, I know the timing chains are prone to failure, so it won't harm it to put new chain on anyway. But before we do that, we'll take the front cover off and have a look at this timing. Okay, let's do it. First things first, I'll clear all the folds, let it all delete, so the next time when I've done it, I won't need to worry about doing that. We'll have to take it for a drive and see if anything comes back. Gone, all nice and green. Engine management light is off, but the traction lights stay on. That could be related to different issue. There you go, engine management light is back. Let's recheck it. After 3 consecutive drive cycles, if there is a fault present, they will come back. And it did come back. Yeah, camshaft position sensor, range performance. Yeah, same fault code. Okay, let's clear this again. Done, gone. Have exactly the same fault codes come up in the brakes. It's all basically come up with it telling the ECU that there is a fault code in the engine ECU. That's what basically the fault code in the brake module is. But we've cleared the faults now, so they all disappeared. But obviously, I'm not going to restart now because they will just bring them all back. I just need to come out of there. There you go. All clear at the moment. Turn that off. Turn the ignition off and start stripping the chain. Obviously, I will have to drain the oil. Okay. The wheel arch off. That should be enough. I'll probably drain the oil first. Don't like this fillers. It takes so long to fill up with oil. You have to really trickle it, unless you buy a special funnel for them. You have to literally trickle it away, one bit at a time. All right, let's drain the oil. Let the oil drain, because if you don't drain the oil, once you take the front cover, it's just gonna start spilling out from under the, over the lip of there. It's just a mess, basically. Don't do it. Drain the oil. Need to undo this while the oil is draining. I'll undo the plug. I'll take this bracket off. It's a new genuine one as well. Genuine camshaft sensor. Genuine waste of money. Yeah. I'm gonna take this off as well. Okay. Probably would have been easier just to unbolt the whole lot. But there we go. Right, that's out. Oh. Now I'll take these plugs out at the back of the camshaft. I'll take this off just to be so I have a bit better view. Don't need to, but can see it better. See, there's just the blanking plugs. Right, two of them. At the moment, they don't look like they're out from each other. They seems to be on the same angle, so that means that the timing between the camshafts is not affected. But that doesn't mean anything. Right. Let's take this off. But before I take this off, I'll have to obviously support the engine. Don't need the earth lead. Hopefully, this engine stopped leaking now. Yeah. And it's empty. Actually, before I support the engine, I better disconnect this and take this little under tray off, because then when the jack is on the way, it's harder to get to it. That's out. Now the wheel arch. Let's take this off. Oh, one more here. There you go. That's it. That's supporting now. Now I'll be able to get this. I have to move this out of the way. I'll clip this. I don't need to drain the coolant. I just need to move it to the side. That's it. I'm not changing the water pump on these engines. You don't need to, unless you really want to. I'll leave it up to you. I'll loosen up this water pump pulley now, because that's a good time to loosen it now. Right, they're loosened. Now we can take the belt off. Yeah, the tension, they've got like a Torx 50 hole, but it's all bashed up. You have to disconnect this way. Okay, that's out. I'm gonna take the tensioner off. I know I've seen some people just pull it down just to get this bolt out, but I found it's easier. Just take it off, and so it's not on my way. I don't have to have three hands then. You see, that's where the supposed to go in, Torx 50, but this is nothing left, and then you can put the pin into that hole to lock it up in a tensed position, but it didn't work. That one don't have to just to loosen up, because if you do, there is a spacer there and it falls down, and then you lose it and you can never find it afterwards, and trying to put it in is an awkward one. So much easier just to, that's it. That's it, flop it down, so you just got that clearance. Because this is a part of the front cover, that is not. There's something, oh no, that's, looks like something should have been there. Never mind. Right, let's carry on stripping the rest of it off. No access to this. Don't know why they put this plug backwards. I just have to try to get it off without taking it off. I might just about have enough room to get to the bolt. Yeah, it's alright. That's good. There you are. Now I can unplug it. A lot easier. And the dipstick can come out. All of that will have to be cleaned anyway, so it doesn't matter. Water pump sprocket or pulley. Well, we're not far off now. Okay, let's get the extension. Nope. See, with the extension, you lose the torque. Right, that's the 3 big bolts out. All the small bolts out on the top. Now we can go and disconnect the other bolts. See, them on top was they're all the same length, but when it gets to the bottom, they all start being wrong, all different lengths. So now I'll drop it down a bit. Right, and I'll start undoing the bottom bolts now. I'll do the bottom. Now I need to take the rest of them bolts off. That's a long bolt. That's a long bolt, and that's a long bolt. When you do them bolts, don't take the water pump bolts out, because they sit next to each other, sort of thing, so you could get confused. But the water pump bolts are different. They're Allen keys, well, this one's a Torx drive. I've got 2 of them bolts, M bolts, and obviously crank pull. Alright, M10s. Should be one more bolt behind there, I think, if I remember correctly. Make sure that's all out. Yeah, that looks all out. Oh yeah, there was one there on the bottom. Right, let's get this crank pulley off. Here's 18mm mortar spline. Okay, and there's one hidden bolt. Oh. Right, I think that's all out. Jack it back up again. Right, the top's disconnected. Now I need to disconnect the sump. I meant to take the sump off. I found this way you don't have to. There you go. It saves you a lot of grief and time, unless you've got tons of rubble going inside the sump. See the telltale? That's been rubbing. Straight away, you can see by the state of the cover where the timing chain was rattling about. Well, that's the oil pump chain. The tension is right out. Yeah, the timing chain, the tension are not supposed to be that far out. It's more or less almost on the maximum out. Well, let's check the timing now. I need a bolt. I'll have to steal this bolt, disconnect it. See, this one's got a rubber seal inside. So obviously that rubber seal stays that way, not that way, this way. I'll need a bolt, just turn the engine, I'll turn the engine. Now I need to take crankshaft position sensor out, because there's a timing mark behind it. Bring the timing to more or less where it's supposed to be. Oh, that's all the way around. So I need to go all the way. Take spark plugs out, then a lot easier to turn the engine. Let's get in there. see there's got the slots there. They only go into the camshaft one way, and they have to line up with this bolt hole. And that lined up. And that lined up also. It's only finger tight just to hold it all in place. So we know the top is done up. And now I need to take the crankshaft out, crankshaft position sensor out, and then try to get this off. Okay, it's right at the back, in the most awkward place you can possibly think of. Somewhere there-ish, but oh, there. Right, that's the crank sensor out. I'll unplug it so it takes less room. Okay. Yeah, from here, if you can look in the crankshaft hole. Oh, from here. Let's see, it should be right there. There you go. In there, it's supposed to be lining up with. It should be a slot of some sort, but it's not. So that means that the timing is. Yeah, you're supposed to put the pin in, but my pin, for some reasons, doesn't actually fit in the first hole. It's that sort of it's that type of a pin, but it doesn't fit. So normally what I do is actually lining up the hole right in the middle of that hole. So I'm gonna have to take this out and turn the engine until actually crankshaft lines up, and then we'll see where the camshafts are. It's all working backwards a bit, but the main thing we need to do now is set up the timing, because if we're just replacing the chain, it's not a big issue. Just mark it, change the chain. But because the timing is out, we've got to do it all properly. So I have to take this out. Can leave the tools in, just need to take the bolts out. Okay, I'll leave them in. Now I need to rotate the engine until I actually find the marks that line up with it. There you are. Now if you look in it, you'll see a big hole in there, in the crank sensor. It lines up with a hole in the flywheel. See? There's a hole in that hole where the crank sensor sits. and made that hole sit right in the middle of the so that's your timing. So when you put that pin in, it's supposed to lock up. It goes in the first hole and goes into the second hole with the smaller end of it. But unfortunately that doesn't fit. It just seems to be all of that is too big. So, and to make it life easier, I'll literally clean up this sprocket here and literally put the Tipex mark against the body, and that way that Tipex mark will line up with this mark. So when I turn the engine back forward all the way again, I don't have to look into that hole. I can just line up the Tipex mark. So it makes life a lot easier once I know exactly, because that does not move. You know, well, it moves, but it doesn't move. You know, it sticks where the flywheel is. It stays in the same place basically. They follow each other, unless you remove everything, but which we don't. And now we can see that the timing is out by a lot. You see there, don't line up anywhere near it. So my initial diagnosis that the time is an timing issue is correct. So now we know the timing is out. We'll just need to put new timing chain kit on. I'm on it on this side of the tooth, on this side of the tooth. Because it's slanted, the tooth itself, so you have to measure it by the inner part of it rather than outer. But now the bottom, I know it's all lined up. Now I need to take the top off. Make sure you catch everything. You can push that in and put the pin in, but it's no point because it's going in the bin. So, and this should, in theory, just slip off. Let's chain. The guides are literally, they just slip off. No bolts. They're supposed to be just slip off. Supposed to slip off. This one is stuck a bit. There you go. Now you can see there's our Tipex mark. You can see there's a keyway there, so that can only go one way. So is that. You can see that can only go one way. Now we need to clean all of that off. That's one in. Ooh. So that's a bit cleaner now. Mm-hmm. Right, that. Well, the timing is set up perfectly now. Yeah, that's the kit. Right, what do we have? The tensioner, the chain, 2 sprockets, 3 sprockets, and 2 guides. Okay, sounds good. Goes in a lot easier than come off. Okay. No writings on this one. It looks symmetrical. Now it's going to be fun part. Try to undo these bolts. Don't know if that's going to work. We'll see. At the moment it doesn't. I remember having a problem before. It does work, but normally you have to go in slightly higher holes. I wonder if I could do it that way. I wonder if I could try to do that way. Nope. Might try to find a skinnier 27mm socket. That's slightly skinnier. Okay. That's good. Right, the chain is on. Now the guide. I mean, not the guide. That's done up. That's free. That's free. Free. Pull the pin out. Now you can see how much is sticking out. Only got about 5 mil of the slidey thing before the groove. Well, before it was out pretty much up to here. It's like triple the amount. Now the timing, well, the bottom bit is exactly the same, hasn't moved at all. The top bit is pinned up, so it cannot move, the camshafts at least. The only thing was free spinning is them things. And you can see the bolts are free still, so it's all set up where it's supposed to be. And now we need to do them up. Don't want them coming undone. Taking the tools out. Right, the pins are out. Now I can turn the engine on. Okay. Right, that's the second revolution. Put the pins in. Goes in perfectly fine. Don't even need to do it up completely, as long as the bolt holes line up. Then you're good to go. No struggles whatsoever. It goes in finger tight, but no tight, no pressure. Perfect. And to be on the safe side, I'll even have a look through the hole. Too high. Engine is too high. Yeah, perfectly in the middle. Exactly where it's supposed to be. That's it. Now the timing chain is on and it's all properly timed up. All we've got to do now is put all the covers back on. Obviously I don't need anything there anymore. Don't forget to put the bungs back in, otherwise the oil is going to come out completely. Start it burn. That's that done. Right, that's the bits of the back of the engine are done. that. Actually, while I'm there, I might as well put this crankshaft position sensor back in. Just plug it in. Right, that's that done. Now it's the job that I kind of dread it, postponed it, because I need to clean up this front cover. Let's clean it up. It's not too bad though. And get to the top. Just to be on the safe side and do on the both surfaces. Then if I do smear somewhere, and this bit I don't even get on the engine. This bit can't get to it. Right. Nice. Well, let's most bolts it in. Yeah. Let's start with these big ones. Big ones on. Now I can have the small ones on as well. If I can find my right. So there it is. I've lost the socket already. a bit. Now let's pop the some bolts back in. Right. That's the sump on. Do this. Let's see. Now the front cover is on. As the front crank pulley is on. We'll see that in a second. That's a fuel one. Something like that. The alternator can go back in. Right, alternator is back on. Water pump sprocket. That's that on. Now the dipstick. That's that on. Okay, next the tensioner. There you go. Sitting where it's supposed to. Let's get rid of that. Right, it's gone inside. All the oil from the oil filter gone inside. So oh, come on. Right, let it dry. Now we can hang the engine back now. That can come out now. And the drain plug again. Right, let it drain. Right, that's that done. Now the water bottle can go back in. There you go. Right. I'm surprised it didn't go on the oil tray. That's the wheel arch in. The wheel back on as well. Somebody put that upside down. Oh, and in the wrong place. That should line up with this cutout. Oh, some people. That's that done. Let's pop the last under tray back on. Okay. One good thing when you put that in, that goes right over the chain when it goes down. I even tried before taking that out and that makes no difference. Let's try to start it. That's one. When the traction light is out, EML is out. I mean, I did clear the fault codes last time, but as soon as I've started up, the traction lights came straight back on. These two. And that's the third or fourth time now I've started it and no engine management light came back on. That's always a good sign. It means we've done something right. Well, when the timing is out by whole tooth, or maybe even more, but we'll connect the computer in a minute and make sure it's all gone just below minimum. Carry on drizzling in. Trickle fill. Yeah, right on the maximum. That'll do. Start it up, let it run. Yeah, take it for test drive, and then come back and plug the computer back in, and then make sure nothing came back, because I've cleared all the faults, and then we start doing the job. So in theory, shouldn't be any fault codes in there. Lithuanian. Right, well, we've done 4.7 miles now. No lights came on, engine runs smooth. Let's do the last check on the computer. Scan history. Engine control, green. It's the brakes that normally takes the longest. Right, okay, that's all the codes. We just cleared all the faults. We've got one combination comfort data bus. I think it's because the radio was replaced for non-standard, so that will always be there. Unfortunately, we can't do anything with that fault codes unless we put the original radio back in. So yeah, that's when them sort of jobs are done, you do need to reset tell the car that you haven't got any more this radio anymore, and it's not as simple as that. So you always got that fault code, but it doesn't affect the driving car, it doesn't bring any management lights on, so we won't worry about it. But main thing, engine control module clear, brakes clear, no traction light, no engine management lights. I'll turn it off and restart again. Yeah, no, all gone away. That's it. Lovely. Another job well done. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Ta-ra! Bye for now.